once we go and send the request to the authorization server and get back the token that we are going to use as our valet key, we can go and do things like try to get access to the video service that we've created. And the way that we do this is, after we've gotten a token back, whenever we send a request to the server, Spring is going to have a filter that's going to first look at the request and check for the presence of a token. And then, depending on what token is there and what security we've set up and things that we've done, like adding pre-authorized annotations to our video service, the authorization server will decide if we can get access to a particular controller or controller method that we're trying to access. So let's say that we wanted to go and access the video server, and we sent a post request to /video. In order to tell the authorization server that we've already authenticated and we've gotten a valet key, we add an authorization header like we did for basic authentication, but rather than using basic as the keyword, we use bearer, meaning a bearer token. Whoever has this particular token should get access and get whatever rights are associated with that token. And then we provide the token that we received before. So we go and use our password grant to send a request to OAuth token, and we get a token back. And then in all future requests, when we're going and sending a request to get access to something like our video service, we add an authorization header, and then the value of it is the word bearer and then the actual token that we received back up here. And then what happens is the authorization server will look at and it will check the request coming in. It will look at the bearer token that we provide. It will see if it's a valid token, and then based on the token that's provided, it will figure out what user that token is associated with, what account that token is associated with, what scope that token has, so what resources should be accessible, and then it will look at the video service or whatever else you're trying to access and the security policies associated with it, and it will make a decision based on the token, the user that it's associated with, the scope that the token has, and the policy associated with the video service, and decide if that request can proceed or not. And then if it can, it will be sent to the video service, and you'll get a result back to your mobile client, which will then be displayed to the resource owner. And then in the next request that we send, yet again, we will go and we will provide this authorization and bearer token as a header in all of our requests. So as long as we want access, we have to keep providing this authorization header with the bearer and the token. And the moment that we stop providing that, the server will say, the authorization server will say, this person isn't authenticated. It's possible that these tokens can expire, in which case if the token expires, the authorization server is going to say, hey, you no longer have access, and then you'll have to go through the flow again to get a new token back from the authorization server. So this is the flow that we're going to be using. Now, just like with basic authentication, it's really important that this flow, that anything we access with a token always goes over HTTPS. There is no way that we can protect that token unless we are sending all of our requests over HTTPS. So whenever you're providing the authorization header with a bearer and a token, you always need that request to go over HTTPS. Otherwise, it's insecure, and anybody else could take that token and then begin using it to get access to the resources on the server.